Salt Lake City is Utah's capital, as well as the most densely populated city in the state. It is also the largest city located in the Intermountain West and is experiencing rapid growth each year. The North Temple Corridor lies on the west side of the city and has been undergoing significant changes within the past several years. When a neighborhood undergoes changes that shift the socioeconomic status from low to high, it is said that it has been gentrified. Many areas of Salt Lake City have been undergoing this gentrification process, including, more recently, the North Temple Corridor. With a new light rail system bringing in large amount of public investment and private development, this area is shifting to a mixed-use and multimodal corridor surrounded by low-density residential neighborhoods. While this gentrification occurs along the corridor, it is vital to use active planning and create policies to fight displacement of underrepresented citizens of the bordering neighborhoods.
So late 80s, early 90s, price of housing, when I started working in the neighborhood, was probably about 30,000 entry level, about 50,000 for the average. Now entry level, about 150, 175,000. In that range.
It used to be 5 or 6 years ago in this specific neighborhood, you could get a one-bedroom apartment for $600-700. You've got a recent development half a block away that's charging up to $1,700 for a one-bed now. There's downtown sprawl as well. And if you're on the outside edge of that, the good news is, great food maybe is coming, you have more amenities, but that downtown pricing starts coming at you, and you gentrify. And this area really is kind of the cusp of gentrification as it moves west. Absolutely. I mean, TRAX is different than kind of a bus service area. There are permanent lines in the ground that developers can look at and know that in 50 years or 15 or whatever your holding time frame is going to be, that investment is going to be there. And also brands and area is important. People build TRAX lines to places people want to be. And so it sets a precedent for what an area can be. It shows both the state and the city level investment where they think kind of deep interest in the city is going to be and already is. So no, it's a huge catalyst for change.
TRAX has allowed a higher density zoning with less parking within what we call the TOD. That has probably brought us, right now it's about 800 units are trending, coming online.
It's tough. Everyone likes a nicer neighborhood, but nobody likes anyone getting kicked out because the neighborhood gets too expensive to be in. And so I think you just paint a picture for people that might do developments on, what is the prettiest neighborhood you can imagine? And does that involve multiple types, multiple income classes, different types of people? And the answer almost always is yes. And so once you get to that point, then you can talk to them about maybe building that rather than the thing that's necessarily going to, make the most money or just focus on one specific type of person.
I don't think that they will, and the reason I don't is because of all the affordable housing units that have been built in the neighborhood already, which is a good and a bad thing. It'll provide housing. We'll have housing within our neighborhood, which diversity and economic diversity is important as well. If you don't have diversity from all areas of life, then you aren't living in a global world. There's NeighborhoodWorks. They've been in the neighborhood, they've been working, and they do create affordable housing. They put deed restriction on it for single family, they've got some townhomes. They are able to preserve affordable housing by mandating that it stay affordable for, typically it's 15 years minimum. We're considered an affordable project, so it has, it's a 60-40, 60% of this 159 units are affordable, meaning they will be affordable for the life of the project, for our lifetime.
NeighborhoodWorks has worked diligently for many years, trying to keep that balance, trying to build neighborhoods through home ownership versus rental apartment units. Developers can get a lot of tax credits if they build low-income housing or affordable housing in general. So you have these different numbers of affordability in terms of your income, and so that it's a great incentive to continue building that kind of residential units.
Give operates in 3 different cities in the Wasatch Front. We have places in Ogden and Provo, and when we were looking at Salt Lake, we were looking at areas that we felt like we could make an impact in, that were in danger of losing their identity in the next 10 years as things started taking over. And so the Guadalupe, West Depot, and then eventually along the North Temple line west was really where we thought we'd focus the next 10 or 15 years and try to make a little bit of impact. We've got one project that's fully built out, our North 6 project, 115 units. About 75% of those are varying levels of affordability to try to balance out a little bit of the gentrification that's coming in town.
Many changes have been occurring along the North Temple corridor. While TRAX and transit-oriented development has brought desirable amenities to the area, it also caused rent and house prices to increase in the area. To fight displacement of current lower-income resident, strategies and policies should be implemented to maintain adequate housing so displacement is prevented and opportunity could be expanded to newcomers and old community members alike.